So you're going to cave in and get a premium vehicle in War Thunder. Well, there are a lot of options, so how the heck do you pick one? Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, most of the footage in this video is going to be aircraft, but the same general ideas and concepts apply to tanks, helicopters, and ships as well. Let's start off by asking a basic question. What do you want to use a premium vehicle for? Premium vehicles give a few advantages in War Thunder. First, they gain research points significantly faster than regular tech tree vehicles. Second, they usually gain Silver Lions a bit faster as well, and also the repair cost is usually way lower than the tech tree vehicles. Plus, some of them are just cool stuff that you can't get in the tech tree, and for my 5 cents, that counts for something too. Now, let's take a look at an example premium vehicle. This is the A5C, a Chinese jet strike aircraft. One of the key things you want to look at with a premium vehicle are the rewards. You can see here at the bottom of the stat card, this plane gets a 696% modifier to RP gains and a 735% modifier to Silver Lion gains. Compare this to the Q5 Early, a very similar aircraft out in the same rank, but in the tech tree. The Q5 only gets a 440% RP modifier and a 540% Silver Lions modifier. Now, obviously, these two jets aren't identical, but the takeaway is that for a similar score in a match, the premium jet will get significantly better rewards. Also notice that the premium jet is cheaper to repair, and with some premium vehicles, the repair cost relative to the Silver Lions modifier is a seriously good value proposition. We also want to take a look at research efficiency. You'll notice that the Q5 only gets max efficiency between ranks 5 and 7, meaning that it gets a penalty if you're using it to research vehicles outside of that range. Normally, vehicles out of the tech tree only get their maximum research points within one rank above or below the vehicle that you're using. The premium A5C has max efficiency in ranks 7 all the way down to rank 1. Premiums keep their full bonus researching vehicles one rank above them or anything below them, meaning that you can use a higher tier premium to efficiently grind out lower tier vehicles. Alright, so now that we've looked at a couple of stat cards, let's talk about how to actually get a premium vehicle, because there are actually quite a few ways. First, there are vehicle packs. Now, you can pick these up in the Gaijin store online, and they'll generally come with the vehicle, some Golden Eagles, and sometimes a title or some other little added perk. There are also some packs available that include multiple vehicles, usually at the lower tiers, so if you do like combined battles and you want a tank and a plane to do close air support with it and start off a new tech tree or something, those might be a pretty good option for you. Next, some premiums can be picked up just straight for Golden Eagles right out of the War Thunder client. You can get GEs on the Gaijin web store or through a variety of other methods like submitting clips to Thunder Show or sometimes as prizes during events. To afford anything above rank 2 premiums, you're probably going to need to just buy the GEs on the web store, and the cost of the GEs is usually going to be similar to buying a pack vehicle. Next, you can get vehicles as a reward for annual events and the Battle Pass seasons. It's possible to get these basically for free with little to no GEs or anything, but it usually takes an enormous amount of grinding to get the good ones, like take a week off of work. Still, you can often reduce the cost by splitting the difference and grinding out most of what you need, and then just using GEs, or whatever, for the bits of the event that you missed. Occasionally, there are also vehicles as rewards for big Thunder League tournaments and stuff too. Lastly, you can just flat out buy vehicles on the marketplace. These are sold by other players and are usually event rewards or Battle Pass vehicles left over from other players who opted to sell them instead of using them. One tactic some players use is to grind out an event vehicle even if they don't want it, and then sell it on the marketplace and use the payout to buy a marketplace vehicle they do want, kind of like trading it in. And in my option, that's a pretty legit thing to do. Okay, so we know how premium vehicles are acquired and what they're for. How do we actually pick one? The first thing you want to do is figure out what type of premium vehicle you want to get. Do you want a mid-tier World War II prop just to fly out for fun in a tech tree we don't have really any progress in? Are we looking for a top-tier tank to help grind out lower-tier stuff that we missed? Do we want a jet fighter to grind out a new aircraft tree from scratch? Are we getting a helicopter to use as close air support with our tanks? Once you've decided what type of premium, take a look at the options. Check out the right-hand side column of the tech tree, browse around on the marketplace, maybe check out some upcoming event rewards on the dev blog. After you've narrowed down the list, or like if there's only one choice, like with some nations' helicopters, what you want to do is test drive the hell out of it. I cannot stress this point strongly enough. Before you pay money for a premium, test drive it a whole bunch of times and really make sure that you're comfortable with how it handles using its weapons and any limitations it might have. For example, here, we're test flying the Meteor F Mark 8 Reaper, a British premium jet. If I was looking for a jet to do close air support with and sort of complement, British tanks, this might look attractive, as it can take bombs and some rockets. However, it doesn't have any ballistics computer at all, and all of its weapons are blind fired. So, if you really wanted to use this as close air support, or if you were going to grind out the British air tree with ground pounding tactics, you'd want to practice a lot before buying this jet to make sure that you had the weapons delivery down to a good muscle memory, and that, you had a few speed to angle attack profiles memorized with this thing. Now, if you can't make the vehicle work after practicing a bit in test flights, that's also important to know, and this might not be the right one for you to get. Most of the premiums above rank 3 or 4 have some kind of big caveat or limitation that you'll need to know about and be okay with before you buy it. This KA-50, for example, is an incredibly effective helicopter with powerful weapons and excellent performance. However, it doesn't get thermal sights, which can be a bit of a big disadvantage in top tiers. That doesn't mean it's a bad vehicle. Not at all. It's just one of the details that you want to make sure you know about before you get it, and you'll want to really make sure that you're going to be comfortable using its weapons without the thermal sights, especially if you're accustomed to using thermals on top-tier helicopters in another tree. Finding a premium that fits with your playstyle is incredibly important, and as an example with ground battles, let's check out this WMA-301. This is a light tank available to China. At a quick glance, this looks like a pretty basic light vehicle, but you still want to practice with it and look for any issues. Get comfortable with the different types of ammo it has, get a feel for how it drives on the road and in the mud, how fast the turret swings around, if it's got a stabilized gun, so on and so on. Is your preferred playstyle with tanks to get up close and brawl it out in like 10-meter distances? How high off the ground is this tank's gun? Will people be able to get under it if, you're in too close brawling like you normally like to do? Really give some thought to how the vehicle is going to fit with how you like to play as you're test driving or flying. You're going to be trying to find a vehicle that fits how you play and not have to adjust how you play to fit the new premium you just bought. At least, not adjust how you play too much. When you get a premium, especially with real money, it's a vehicle that you're going to be using a lot. So you want to make sure you're really comfortable with it in testing, and you won't regret the purchase a month later. Now, there's one more big consideration here. If you're buying a premium out of the top tiers, like rank 6 or 7, and you've only been playing War Thunder down at the lower tiers, like maybe ranks 1 through 4, there's absolutely going to be a huge learning curve for top-tier gameplay. The meta is completely different. Vehicles have dramatically improved features and capabilities, and some of the stuff at a quick glance you might not think is a huge deal, like that Meteor we looked at not having the CCIP ballistics computer for its bombs, actually end up being an enormous handicap in top-tier battles, because most of the other stuff you're going up against out of the tech tree is going to have it. The F-5C, for example, is a reasonably good premium jet, but it doesn't have a radar. And flying in top-tier battles without a radar can absolutely hold you back. That doesn't mean you shouldn't get the premium. It just means that you need to be aware of the limitations and prepare for the learning curve due to the changed meta and the different features relative to vehicles out of the tech tree. The last thing I'm going to suggest, either if you think you've settled on a premium and you're about to, hit the button to buy it, or if you're trying to pick between a couple that you've narrowed it down to, go find some reviews or videos about it. Now, I realize it's self-serving for me to say this because I've got reviews up of a lot of premium vehicles, but I'm not the only one, and getting a second or third opinion about the vehicle can really help in making a good decision. Getting an understanding of how a vehicle fits into the larger gameplay meta at its tier, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with higher-tiered gameplay, can often mean the difference between being happy with your purchase and enjoying the grind you get with it, or later regretting your purchase and giving up the grind with it a month or so later. So, I hope this discussion helps make a decision about what premium you want to pick up, if any, and perhaps helps you narrow down your choices a little bit to something that'll be a good fit for you. I wish I could give you an easy answer and just say, get this one. But the reality is that every player wants the premium for a different purpose, has a different play style, and frankly, a different budget. Were there any premiums that you thought were particularly good or bad, that you were particularly happy or unhappy with? Please feel free to drop a comment so we can all learn from each other's experiences. And remember to test drive the hell out of it before you buy it. As always, thanks for watching.